Guys, boys, test. Can you hear me? I can. Okay. I can see everybody and hear everybody.
How's New York, buddy?
Oh, wait, can you guys see?
No, I'm still here.
We can see
I'm
him.
home.
We can see him.
So we'll be talking to him like this, but we won't see him on the monitor, right?
He's already
Well, we'll have program on there, so we'll see him.
No.
Oh.
I wanted to reframe his camera, but it looks like he already did it.
Yeah, Nick looks good.
I like this, guys.
Yeah, man, we're ready for it. Talk a little UFC.
Talk everything, buddy.
Gonna be
Who
beautiful.
do you like this weekend, Jeff?
I have a pretty chalk UFC parlay lined up with
baby,
Rebus,
with
Hooker, and
parlays.
Connor.
I know nothing about UFC,
Yeah.
and you guys will be educating me. Zero. Although the name Hooker stands out to me. I'm going to be betting that. And Jessica Eye of
Yeah.
the Tiger kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a strong pick.
Okay.
Does she fight this weekend? Oof. To my left. I can't because I'm like maximum, but let me move the camera maybe.
Ah, yes, and with that, hello, welcome in. We did it.
We're live.
I think so. You want to double
Let's do
check?
it, baby. Let's
Okay.
do it.
This is No Gamble, No Future. My name is Jeff Platt. Thank you all so much for being here. He is Brent Hanks. So, Brent, if you had to describe this show, what is No Gamble, No Future all about?
As a former professional poker player,
Yeah, very former.
and we're always trying to hide behind the G word, right? Always, poker's a game of skill. It is, a little bit, Jeff, but it's also a game of gambling. I am here to embrace the gambling. I'm sick and tired of that culture. Let's just throw it out the window. We're allowed to say the G word, Jeff. Let's gamble. Let's have fun.
Let's gamble. That sounds
Yeah.
good to me. So we're on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Say hi to us in the chat. Fill us in on some of your gambling stories. You have a big play for this upcoming week. Tell us about it. You suffer a nasty bad beat last weekend? Tell us about that as well. So much to come on today's show. We have an NFL Divisional Round recap from a betting perspective, of course. A conference championships preview from a betting perspective, of course. And Brent, our first guest on No Gamble, No Future, as we dive into UFC 257, it's Nick Schulman.
Nick Schulman, the greatest, maybe commentator in the world. Jeff, I know you were up for an award. Commentator of the
Don't
year.
like to
and,
brag about this, but I was nominated for
Nick
Poker Broadcaster of the Year.
kind of swooped in there and
Well.
he took it from you because he's really goddamn good at what he does.
And
Jeff,
the
okay?
9 days of work he put in last year were fantastic.
It's a hard worker. It's a hard worker. Yeah.
All right, you'll get Lock It Up at the end of the show, and what's a gambling show without gambling plays, right?
Well, we're gonna give 'em.
Yeah, we're gonna make
Hot
you all the
picks.
money, and we might not make you all the money. I mean, we aren't sharp, but we love this, and let's all have fun,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll stumble upon some winners. So Brent, the show is going to evolve, of course, over the next couple weeks, next couple months. But for now, we want to start things off a little bit differently
Okay.
with the weigh-in. What's the weigh-in?
The weigh-in.
Tell us about the
okay,
weigh-in.
here's the weigh-in. Here's
Yeah.
the weigh-in. There's a big play. Everyone's trying to get physically fit. It's the top of the year. The weigh-in is quite literally going to be my weight, Jeff's weight on
Okay.
a scale.
Okay.
We're gonna go through this, the ups and downs and swings of my disgusting physical.
That's a little harsh.
Sort of what I
Slightly
am, this
harsh.
blob of a man, and your little runty ass.
Well,
We're going
that's
to keep
also a
track
little
of,
harsh.
of where you are on the scale,
Okay, yeah.
quite literally.
Yeah.
So I checked in, Jeff. I had
Yeah.
to write this down.
Check the notes.
on my notes here.
Okay.
I checked in this morning. I stand completely naked on the scale. I don't know
That's
about you.
great.
No
Don't
boxers,
think you
no
needed to
t-shirt.
clarify.
So you did, but I want to make sure you're doing that. 224 pounds, 0.3. 224.3. That's my weigh-in. Next week, my goal is to come in under that weight.
Okay. I'm slightly under that. I'm 153.9. So it's very close. I mean, when you
153.9?
I mean, when you equate our heights, you're like what, 6'8"?
153.9?
That's, I've lost some weight. I'm in fighting shape.
My
you know,
6-year-old is more than that.
we're entering UFC 257.
I have
I'm
a
involved in
5-year-old.
a
I
lot
don't
of
even
mixed
have a
martial arts
6-year-old.
training. Well, he's gonna be 6 eventually.
There you have it. That's the weigh-in.
So we say hello to everybody watching us, trying to keep track of the YouTube chat, the Twitch chat. We see our guy Kevin in there. We've got George in San Diego. We've got Manica. We have Brent Nutbluff in the Twitch chat who says, "Go Bills."
Let's go, Buffalo. Come on,
Go
baby. Rise up,
Bills.
Mafia. Let's do this.
And that leads us perfectly into our NFL playoffs recap. So we want to dive into what we saw over the weekend, and we have to start with your Buffalo Bills. Bills 17, Ravens 3. So the Bills cover the 2.5.
Sure did.
The Bills on the money line at -140. You got them there. The under -49.5. Brent actually offered that one up to me days before. Little insight into that Buffalo weather, yeah?
Well, the weather was brutal. It was windy. Ravens, Lamar Jackson had a hard time handling the snap. That's no joke. And what's interesting about this game, here's my number one stat line that I took out of this. 36% of the dropbacks, Lamar Jackson was under pressure, running, scrambling for his life. Right now, the Bills' defense is as hot as it's been the entire season. That is what's leading to their success right now. And good news for the folks around Orchard Park. Josh Allen isn't even playing great yet. He's not playing great yet, but that defense is. That's what led to the pick six heard round the world, Jeff. That's what led to that victory.
What is, as a diehard Buffalo Bills fan, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're just joining us here on Poker Go, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook. I say diehard Buffalo Bills fan, and that might even be an understatement. So what is running through your mind throughout that pick six? late in the third.
Not used to that.
Yeah.
Usually that stuff's happening for the other team. That hasn't been happening for Buffalo in quite some time. I mean, I'm still trying to get used to what we're going through. It doesn't seem quite real. I know the folks in Western New York, they're just going absolutely bananas. I'm out here with you, Las Vegas, and I'm going bananas every weekend. It's a very special time right now if you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
Bills make the AFC title game for the first time since 1994. And Brent, that was en route to making and losing their 4th Super Bowl in a row.
I'll tell you what.
They
Yeah, we lost four straight Super Bowls in a row. But you know what we also did? We won 4 consecutive AFC championship games, Jeff. 4 consecutive. That's a big deal.
That is indeed. All right, the Packers are on their way to the NFC Championship after beating the Rams 32-18. The Packers do cover the 7. If you had minus 350 on the money line, you got them. Maybe you threw them in a parlay. Let us know in the chat if that was the case. And then you got there with the over 45, which looked fantastic at the beginning. Yeah, sure, nothing to worry about. We're going to be totally fine. And then you're thinking late in the game, like, could this under really come in? Could this under really spike? No John Walford for the Rams. I feel like they liked him even more than Goff. Never felt like LA could win that game. But if you had them plus 7, I felt like you were pretty live throughout the course of the contest.
All the sharps that I know, which, by the way, the sharps are always wrong.
Yep.
Don't listen to the sharps.
Listen to us.
You listen
Forget
to
the
us.
sharps.
Come on. We bet with our heart over here, for crying out loud. All the sharps were on the Rams plus 7. Well, you ran into the buzzsaw that is Aaron Rodgers. The guy's unstoppable. Aaron Jones didn't even really have a ton of touches. I think he had like 60% of the touches in the backfield for that game. Everything is going Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. Put that on repeat.
Chiefs 22, Browns 17. The Chiefs will meet those Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. The Browns covering the 8. Chiefs on the money line were minus 420. That game went under the 56. And Brent, I mean, if you have the Chiefs minus 8 in that game, you are feeling fantastic, right? It's 19-3 at halftime. Browns get the ball to start the second half. Mayfield throws a pick, but then Butker misses a 33-yard field goal. Mahomes gets hurt after the Browns march down and score, and all of a sudden you're probably panicking at that point.
It was a blowout. I mean, that game was going to easily cover until the Mahomes injury. Devastating for all of the Chiefs bettors, no doubt about it. Of course, if you're on a teaser like I was and you only need him at minus 4,
there we go, baby. There we go.
It worked out, Jeff.
Who'd you tease him with?
I forget. Buffalo, probably.
I forget. It was a winner, though.
It was a winner. That's all I just count the winners, Jeff. Never count the losers. Count the winners. Devastating. Mahomes. By the way, I can explain that injury. I have a little bit of a background in medical science, and I can speak through experience in my high school days. And by the way, kids, if you're watching, Mom and Dad, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I'm about to tell this story. It's going to be short and sweet, but I know what happened to Mahomes around the neck. We used to do this thing in high school. Don't do this anymore. No one do this. My kids, don't do this.
Yeah.
You ever choke yourself out?
No.
You ever did that? Never did that before? So what you do is you hold your breath. That's what Mahomes was doing. He's running. It was cold there at Arrowhead. He's holding his breath. He's winded. And then he got tackled around this vein in his neck here. Okay? It cut off even more of an oxygen supply, and he blacked out. We used to do that in high school. So that was
his stumble, was more blacking out for me.
Yeah, you hold your breath, put your head between your legs, you pop up, you hold your neck, you cut the oxygen, you black out. We used to do that to people in school. Sometimes anyway, that's what the injury was. It's not a concussion. I'm a doctor.
Wow. Well, solved. So Dr. Hanks, is Mahomes going to play?
Yeah, he's going to play. And I'll tell you what,
yeah.
Even if you had a headache, even if he had anything going around upstairs, like absolutely didn't have a concussion, it's not like he's going to report it. He's not going to say he feels bad. He's going to say he feels great, and he's ready to go. He's going to get the clearance. You're going to have Patty Mahomes. Not 100% Patty Mahomes, but you're going to have Mahomes in the game.
You did have a sweat if you did have the Chiefs minus 8. You had the Chad Henne drive for the cover and then the interception in the end zone. All right, moving on to our final divisional round matchup. Buccaneers 30, Saints 20. Tom Brady and the underdogs come through at the plus 2.5, at the plus 125 on the money line if you had under 53. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees, it sounds fantastic. That wasn't the prettiest of matchups, I would say.
A couple old men.
Yeah.
Just a couple old men out
Slinging
there
the ball around.
They are legends. I love it. I can say this about Tom Brady. You and I were talking a little bit before we went live. He's a vegan. putting that right
Right.
out right now. He's
Yep.
a vegan.
Don't see what that really
judge
has to
if
do
you
with
want to
anything.
judge, but he's a vegan.
I'm not judging. Wouldn't
I don't
judge.
think that his bones, I don't think that his insides are ready for the cold air that's going to be out there at Lambeau Field. We saw that inside the New Orleans Superdome. Can I call it the Superdome?
Well, I think everybody calls it the Superdome.
Yeah.
Right?
A little chilly in there for him.
Okay, yeah,
A little chilly.
let's get to our conference championship previews. We'll run through these games real quick. Talked a little bit about the Bills earlier and a little bit about the Chiefs earlier. The Chiefs come in at -3, and Brent, I think this line says that Vegas says what you, Dr. Hanks, are saying, that Mahomes is playing. If there was any doubt on Mahomes is playing, would the Chiefs be -3? I don't think so.
Mahomes is playing.
Yes.
That's what the odds are set for. If Mahomes weren't playing and we were going to have the Chad Henne show, it'd be Buffalo -6, -7 in that game. I have no doubt about it. A couple things to point out. This is interesting. Matt Milano plays for the Buffalo Bills linebacker. He's missed 3 games this year in the entire season.
Okay.
All 3 games the Bills lost.
Oh.
He's back with
Okay.
Matt Milano in the lineup. They're undefeated. The last time Buffalo played Kansas City this regular season, they held Tyreek Hill to 20 receiving yards. That's it. We're going to see the same sort of thing with Trey White. It's Trey Day, baby. Going to shut him down. My projection, Bills are going to cover. Bills are going to win this game outright.
All right, and if you want the Bills outright, you fire on them at +140-ish. Again, Patrick Mahomes probably good to go. That over/under 54.5. Let's move on to the NFC Championship quickly. The Buccaneers against the Packers. Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. We can hype this one up as well, and we hype up the Packers as a 3.5-point favorite, -195 on the money line. The over/under for this one is 51.5, and the Packers look good, man.
Packers look phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they're at home.
Yeah.
They're used to this Lambeau Field kind of weather. We're going to see exactly what we saw last week. We're going to see Rodgers to Adams over and over and over again. Packers defense all of a sudden looks incredible. They're going to be getting after Tom Brady. They're going to shut him down. I don't think that the Buccaneers can keep up with what's happening out there in Green Bay. I fully expect a Packers, maybe even a 2-touchdown win.
Wow.
I think so.
Pasta on Twitch has a slight disagreement. Says Bucks get to the Super Bowl but face the Bills because defense wins championship. So let's break down the Super Bowl champion odds, going to Circa for our Super Bowl futures odds. And there we see the Chiefs at +200, the Packers at +225, the Bills at about 3.5 to 1, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4 to 1. Looking at that list, where do you see the most value?
I know you're going to be surprised to hear this, but I
Bills.
see the most value with the Bills.
Yeah.
At 3.5 to 1. Obviously, that's weighted towards the heavier side because they've got to run through the Kansas City Chiefs, and I fully expect them to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I think the Bills at 350 is great value.
I got the Bills at 6 to 1. Don't mean to brag before the playoffs started. Although we were talking before the show, and maybe that's just a better play to, before every game, just load up on the money line. Maybe you end up getting a little bit better than 6 to 1 odds in that path. But whatever, I'll take it. I'll take the sweat on the Buffalo Bills. All right, that will do it for our NFL previews. And let us now, Brent, move in to the wonderful world of UFC, as we do have UFC 257 on the way this weekend. Before we bring Nick Schulman in, quickly, tell me your UFC fan background of sorts. There's not much of one.
I don't know if I relate to anybody out there in the chat, and I do see you guys. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Mitch Hecht, Kyle Zajic, of course, Mr. Tim Duckworth right here in our very own office, Nick from Yuma. We see you guys in the chat. I'm on the YouTube chat. Jeff, he's over here on Twitch right now. Love you guys. My UFC background, unbelievably limited. I am a new fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how. How am I so late to the party? Every time I watch a UFC heavyweight fight, including a guy like Conor McGregor, I'm infatuated with it. I'm excited. I think it's great, but for whatever reason, I just don't return. Well, I'm here to stay, Jeff.
Okay,
I don't
so
know a
you're
lot
in.
about it, but I'm all in on UFC. I'm ready
Okay.
to learn, and thank goodness you're sharp. Our guest that's going to be with us in a minute, Nick Schulman, he's remarkably sharp when it comes to UFC and boxing. I'm excited to learn about UFC with so many of the folks in the chat.
I don't know if I'm sharp, but I sure love watching UFC. And guys, let's throw up that fight card one more time before we bring Nick in. This is UFC 257. These are the top 3 fights on the card. Conor McGregor, about a -300 favorite, taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. A really intriguing co-main event in Dan Hooker facing Michael Chandler. And Brent, this is Michael Chandler's first fight at UFC. Came over from Bellator. Was an absolute superstar. Dan Hooker. Dan the Hangman Hook. Yes, his last name is Hooker.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. And Joanne Calderwood takes on Jessica Eye in a top 10 matchup of the flyweights in the women's division. So let us do this. Let us get to our quote-unquote expert. And just like that,
bring in
poker commentator, poker player, of course, super sharp sports bettor, Nick Schulman. Nick, welcome in to No Gamble, No Future.
I'm not an expert. Sharp as a bowling ball, my friend Russian already would say. But what's up, guys?
You know, it's good to have you here, and we wanted to chat some UFC. We wanted to chat a little bit boxing, and before we get into anything from a betting perspective, how would you describe the atmosphere surrounding a Conor McGregor fight? I know it's a little bit different with either no fans or a limited audience like we'll see in Abu Dhabi this weekend, but there's something special, right, when Conor McGregor enters the Octagon.
Oh, of course. I mean, you know, he's a global icon, so it's an event kind of like shades of like Prime Tyson and all of that, Mayweather. You know, you could go back to the old days, but yeah, McGregor is, you know.
I just like the way that he does like the little walk thing, his little strut. Like once I saw that, like I'm sold. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I think he's like a WWE character, you know.
Yes.
He's playing a role, and the crowd absolutely
didn't he destroy like a bus or something a couple years ago with throwing cinder
he
blocks through windows?
Well, I think he did throw a couple chairs at a bus.
I respect that.
He smacked an older gentleman in a bar.
Yeah, you know,
he's being sued right now for by some woman.
Yeah,
there was an indecent exposure on a yacht in Corsica.
Really?
This guy is out of his fucking mind.
Is he packing some heat, you think?
Let's just be clear. But he could fight.
Yeah.
You know, that's been proven clear.
He's had a bit of a roller coaster ride outside the Octagon. All right, Nick. So when you see Conor McGregor at about -300, I think that line may have moved a little bit throughout the course of the last couple hours to the -330 range. Where do you see the value in this main event?
Oh, I see the value in betting on McGregor, watching him go out there like Bruce Lee and just piece him up real fast. And we just cash another check and get out of there. I mean, to me, it's a little bit like UFC's crazy. I'm a boxing guy more. UFC's crazy because you can go down low. You got the kicks, there's so many variables. But, you know, like I'm going to bet Canelo every fight for a few fights. When you go back to Floyd's career, it was like, I knew you know to bet him every fight, but then you just start taking these dogs. And then after the fight, they look like they should have been 1,000-to-1 dogs. And I think maybe with McGregor, we're entering this. All this guy does is train, do cocaine from time to time.
Really?
Go out and party and then just train again. That's what I've heard. All he does is train. Like, all jokes aside, though, like, you know, it's all he does. Yeah. And I think he's gonna, you know, I'm gonna bet on McGregor.
He's
like
doing
a sucker.
the
I'm gonna bet on the most famous athlete of the world. Look at me. Yeah, real sharp. No, but I like Conor. I mean, you know.
Yeah. What'd you think of Conor's boxing skills? I think he's always been thought of in the UFC as one of the best strikers in the history of the sport. When he stepped into the ring against Mayweather, what'd you think?
Well, first of all, you know, Mayweather is incredibly slippery and you know, among the most elusive and best boxers in the history of the sport. So even though he was 40 and all that, and maybe carried him a little bit, it's hard to look too good against him. Having said that, I mean, Conor's movement and stuff is nice, but he has no power boxing, at least that particular evening. It's different with the big gloves, and his timing with those tiny gloves, if he catches you, it's just a lot different than boxing. Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, no professional boxer could really hurt Floyd, barring a few selective like punches. You can remember you can remember Maidana and Mosley and Zab. You literally remember one punch where Floyd got hurt, not a fight where he had problems. That's how hard he is to hit. So, I mean, McGregor did his thing. It's just he's not a boxer. He's a UFC guy. I mean, of course he's an amazing athlete and an amazing striker. But he throws those 360 kicks. He's got all sorts of stuff going on. He'll even like fake shoot. He's got so much presence in the unlimited realm of striking with all the limbs. But boxing is just striking with the hands. And I mean, Floyd was a tall order.
Yeah, I would say so. Brent, I showed you right before we went on air.
Yeah.
The highlight clip, which was really the entire fight of the last fight between McGregor and Poirier. And even as a very limited UFC fan, you were like, "Oh wow, that is a showing."
Well, I mean, and that was all hands, right? I mean, he connected with his fist. So to counter Nick's saying, put the boxing gloves on, which are like, clown gloves or whatever. He couldn't strike Floyd with any power, but you put on the little people gloves, and he's gonna kick some ass, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. He's a striker. Is that what we call him? We call him a striker.
Yeah,
striker.
All right. Now, a striker, does that mean he also is kicking? He's going to be throwing some roundhouse kicks.
Yeah, like Nick said, he's got the kicks, the spinning kicks in his arsenal.
All right, he's my guy. If this is a spot, Nick, and you're talking to degenerate Hanksy here, if I need to move all in and pick up a quick few thousand here, am I all in on McGregor? Is this a lock? Is this 100% lock?
For the sake of shtick, it's a lock. I mean, of course, you have to respect Poirier's lifelong pursuit of martial arts as well, his quest for revenge and all that. But yeah, McGregor's going to piece him up, get him right out of there.
I don't think we have to respect any of that. I don't have any respect for that.
Well, I think what I'm saying though. It's of course it's not a lock, but yeah, I like McGregor and I like the Hangman. I don't know if this guy Chandler, he just
okay.
What's the story with this guy? Jeff, the Hangman is gonna hurt this guy. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking before. Brent loves the last name of Dan the Hangman Hooker.
It's just catchy.
Yeah,
it's catchy.
Speaking of
I'm a names guy.
Wow,
yeah.
Brent.
Yeah.
But you like Hangman in this one. I think Chandler is certainly seeing a whole new level of competition, and to start his UFC career with Dan Hooker, that's a pretty intense matchup.
Yeah, I mean they're not the same fighters, but you saw it with Askren a little bit too when he got away with the Lawler kind of they called it off like Lawler tap, but he didn't, and it looked like he was maybe about to start finding a rhythm. It's not so easy for these grapplers to deal with these elite striker, psycho kind of guys, and the Hangman is coming, baby. So, yeah.
This one, we have Hooker at -125. Chandler coming in as the very, very slight underdog. I am curious to see Chandler just because there was so much hype around him going into this one.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so why is Chandler barely a dog if this is his first fight?
I don't know, Nick. What do you think? I think the hype machine behind Chandler.
He was very dominant in Bellator, which is a different fighting organization, but still, his performance in mixed martial arts has been documented for years. He's quite good. The UFC isn't the only game in town. You have one going on in Asia, Bellator, so he's the real deal, confirmed. But yeah, I just like Hooker, man. I like that guy.
Got quite the chin as well. Hooker can take shots.
You hit him with a
they're used to it.
Yeah, insane chin.
Yeah, absolutely insane chin. Couple props on the McGregor fight that I wanted to run by you. Conor by KO at -180. If we think in like a 5-round fight that KO is certainly his most likely path to victory, can we get a little bit of better price? Is there a little bit better value in that prop?
I don't know. Poirier is so much bigger now. He's been in there with some huge hitters, and like I could see McGregor kind of coasting to like an quote unquote easy decision. Also, I think that era of his career he seems like a very intelligent guy and an intelligent fighter. And despite what he says, I don't think he likes getting hit at all. So if he could just kind of stay on the outside, just sort of piece him up with the leg kick and land. Maybe his shots will just flow to where the KO just comes, but I don't know about those. I could see him kind of just dominating a sort of easy win, like,
Yeah, just coasting
like
to it.
that.
I mean, he said it.
Coast.
We know that he has one of the greatest bursts in the sport. Like he'll just come out firing. Like he'll just attack and attack. But then after the first couple minutes, to your point, could see him really settling in, I guess, for the long run. And for you, Mr. Hanks, as a new UFC fan,
Yes.
so the main events or title fights are always
Okay.
5 rounds as opposed to the normal 3. The over-under for this one is 2.5 rounds. The under coming in at minus 185.
I'm going over.
Okay. Because
I'm going
based on
over
what Nick said.
too.
I like exactly what Nick just said.
Hanks. I like McGregor almost as much as I like the Chiefs this weekend, buddy.
Oh,
Almost.
boy. Oh, boy. And that'll do it
You
for
know what
Nick.
I'm
Brent's going to
saying.
cut the cord. And that's the whole show.
Wait a minute. You
No,
like
just
Chiefs
kidding.
money
I'm
line
just kidding.
or the spread?
I just like the Chiefs by infinity. I think the Bills are going to remind
Who booked
Buffalo
this guy?
fans how much pain they've endured for one more year. I think, I just like the Chiefs by a million, baby. Mahomes got the tweaked nerve or whatever, but he's going to, yeah.
All right, fine. You
Yeah.
know what? That's fine. That's fair. It's the Chiefs.
I'm rooting
Listen, the
for you,
Chiefs
though.
are really good.
I'm rooting for you.
If
Are
we're
you
gonna-
really rooting for him if you're going to be all in on the Chiefs?
No, I'm not going to bet. I don't bet that much.
Okay.
I'm all talk.
If the Bills lose to anybody, I'd rather it be, honest to God, to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes rather than you get to the Super Bowl and lose another game there. I can't. I don't know. If we do, we do. I just don't know. I'm so nervous right now. And now I'm just full of
I
anxiety.
bet, man. I'm just kidding. I bet. Just breathe, Brent.
I know you are. I know you are, my friend.
It's only Tuesday. Nick, is there a dream UFC fight that you'd like to see? Like, would you like them to run back Conor Habib? What's out there
I'd love
in
to
the
see
UFC?
Conor Habib. Of course, Masvidal Covington
Yeah.
kind of has to happen. That one makes sense. I can't wait for John Jones to start fighting the big guys. And the Adesanya Blachowicz fight is great, but I want to see Adesanya Jones maybe at like 205 or something like that. Hamzat Edwards is an amazing
Yes.
fight. They're kind of sleeping a little bit on Leon, this guy's great too. So we'll see about that one. And just kind of is Hamzat. I love that guy, my brother. I get money, I smash someone. And it's no problem. I like that guy. Those kind of, 155 and 170 are all great divisions, but and Holloway with like a transcendent performance last time out. Holloway, anybody is that was really like sublime boxing / UFC style striking. That was amazing. So all of that, and then I want to see Joanna and the Chinese girl run it back.
Yeah.
Wei Li.
Yeah.
They got to run that one back. And Nunez Anderson is a good fight, by the way. I like the Aussie there. She's tall. She seems cool. Probably be some big odds. I like her.
You mentioned Holloway's transcendent performance, and that was, I think they probably brought in a bit of a new audience with that being on ABC for the first time. And Holloway, like his next fight's got to be for the belt, yeah? After that?
I would say so. I think so. He's an all-time fighter who you could argue that he won both of the Volkanovski fights.
Sure.
The only thing is, he deserves the third fight with Volkanovski, but there's a lot of great fights to be made. Like, he could run it back with McGregor. There's just all sorts of fights, but he deserves huge fights and to get rich from doing what he loves to do. This guy deserves to go out there and get like generational wealth just for his fighting style and just everything about him. He's just cool. And, I'd love to see him just keep it up. He's only 29. It's crazy.
Right.
Couple questions from the chat, Nick, and folks on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. We see you out there. Where are you coming in from? Let us know your location right now. Love that. Nick, for you, one question. Would you rather win the 50K Poker Players Championship or call a professional boxing match and get on the mic?
Gonna do both. I don't have to.
There we go.
No. I mean, those questions are. I would love to commentate on boxing, but not because I think I'm, this expert or pundit. It's just a dream sort of scenario, and I would love to be there, and just kind of not say a whole lot, hopefully, but I think I'm a lot more likely to win the 50K, so I'm gonna, I don't know. We're gonna do it all, baby.
Oh yeah. And then,
Real quick, sorry,
yeah.
just because it relates to the boxing. Who's your
Please.
favorite fighter to watch in the boxing game right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
probably Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
Is just style wise is my favorite fighter, but there's a lot. But I love Bud. He's just so nasty, so good. Switch stances, pot shot you, combinations, mean, great defense, but not scared to kind of get in a firefight, and just seems to find these. He's so crafty. That's the thing. These masterclass boxers are incredibly crafty in the ring. It goes without saying. Same in MMA, same in all this, but a lot of these guys, the best guys, they really do kind of win here a lot of the time, and he's so smart in there. And then the whole like Gervonta Garcia, Loma, Still, Shakur, Devin Haney is maybe my just style wise. Like all of those lightweights are just, it's an amazing time for that division. It's kind of like the 80s, like the welterweights in the 80s, and then Joshua Fury is going to happen, which is another global event. And yeah, it's kind of a glorious time for boxing a little bit.
Sorry, go ahead.
I got one more question from Adam Dentico in the chat. Nick, who is your toughest, I believe, no limit hold'em opponent? Somebody you squared off against. Who do you think has been the toughest for you?
Good question. I mean, maybe Ike. I've played quite a bit of cash with Ike in mixed games. We played a lot of 40 BB cap, so it's a pretty specific format to the game we play in. But I mean,
Ike
he's
Haxton,
everything
by the
they
way.
say
Yeah.
is. And then in tournaments, I mean, a lot of worthy foes and just people I respect. It's hard to come up with one, but Ike comes to mind as just he's tremendous.
I think he meant me, just worthy tournament foes.
Sure.
We
No,
mixed it up on the
I'm sure
online
he
streets.
does.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
He's got a lot of notes on my
Yeah,
style.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
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 There you go.
Nick, what does 2021 look like for you, or what are these next couple months going to be like?
I don't know. I'm home a fair amount. I'm playing online a lot, and I'm just playing online, working out in the yard, and golfing, and hanging out with the family. But I'm itching to play some live poker, but we'll see. If stuff kind of comes back, or whatever, I'm ready. So
You're in New York
kinda
City
want-
right now, Nick. When are you coming back to Vegas? You and I.
I'm in Vegas, Brent. I'm still here.
Oh, you're here.
I'm still
You're
here.
here. I didn't know you were here.
I'm in my house.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Well, I thought you were in New York
Unless you
this whole
see me
time.
on one of the European sites, then
Yeah.
I'm in Mexico.
All right. Well, you're in Mexico. It's wherever you are.
No,
Either
I'm
way,
in
can we
Vegas.
play golf
Yeah,
maybe
I'm in
this
my
weekend?
office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was kind of I'll get back to that
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
golf
I think we're
schedule.
gonna play
Yeah,
golf. Are
we
we
might-
gonna play golf? I mean, we keep talking about it.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready.
All right. I'll meet you after the show.
Okay, sounds good to us. Nick, we can't thank you enough for joining us, for being our very first guest. We really appreciate it. We'll catch up with you soon. All right.
Guys, love you guys. Keep it up. No gamble, no future, baby.
There we
It
go.
was fun.
You the
Thanks
man.
for having
Thanks,
me
bro.
on. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds
As
good to
always,
us.
man.
Sounds good to us. There he
If you're
goes.
serious about getting 9 in, Brent, I'm not hard to find.
No, I know. We need to play.
Sure,
It's
guys.
it's been my bad. Honestly, I've been doing too much shit. Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Nick. All right, that is one Nick Schulman. I mean, just absolute legend.
He's
Just
a
an
legend.
icon.
I mean,
Yeah.
and he's so sharp, and he's
Yeah.
he's also really humble.
Yeah.
Nick is always humble. He can't ever just take it and be confident
Right.
and cocky and arrogant. He's too reserved, and I love that about him.
Kind of like me. very humble. Just coming across
You're
as very humble. Yeah.
You're just not really good at anything, but you're very humble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Nick did bust me from one of the Sunday WSOP.com tournaments. Is very, very sad, and he probably just doesn't even remember the hand and just moved on with his life, just like we will move on with the show. All right, Brent, we thought that this related. Every week, we want to get a couple picks from what we'll call them friends on the go.
Friends on the go.
Either our Poker Go, ambassadors or just friends of the various programs that we've had.
Right there.
So, let's start this off with a guy you might have heard of.
Okay.
His name's Daniel Negreanu.
Yes.
And he told us, and you'll like this, he says, quote, obviously Buffalo +3, Josh Allen is the best leader in the NFL, and he will lead Buffalo to the Super Bowl.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. And he sent me that last night. I'm so excited about that. And I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful little piece about being a leader. We haven't seen that sort of leadership in Buffalo, and that's exactly why they're so successful.
All right, up next, it's our dear friend. She usually sits in the middle of this lineup on the break desk. I mean, I'm sure she would not like to be cramped in right there. That'd be a little awkward. Maria says the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's 14th conference championship appearance in 21 seasons. He's just about as likely to appear in this game as Aaron Rodgers is likely to complete a pass. He's also used to the cold weather that he will see in Green Bay. Never bet against playoff Brady. I mean, you'd be rich if you never bet against Brady in the playoffs, yeah?
Yeah, well, maybe that is why Maria is rich. And that was
yeah.
a very elaborate response about
I
Tom
like
Brady,
that.
which makes me think she is actually very sharp when it comes to Tom Brady and his career. I totally disagree with Maria's take, but that's fine. We're going to let her have it.
Okay, Maria is going to go with the Bucks. We will give her the +3.5 for that one. You keeping notes? You writing all this down?
You have notes right there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, okay. Mark Gregorich, the champ, is here.
Yes.
Winning the Westgate Superbook weekly NFL picks contest. I don't know what the exact...
I think
the
it's
Super
the
Contest,
Pick'em, the Super
right?
Contest.
The Super Contest, yeah.
He and David Baker,
Yep.
ODB.
They ship it for $435K.
And I think they made more than that. Didn't they get second place in the Circa one as well?
For about $200,000 as well. I mean, that is pretty
this is
absurd.
Sharp. Okay, whatever Mark Gregorich is about to say here,
Okay.
Jeff, I think we need to lock this in as just a home run lock pick.
Okay, ready? Yeah. He says, quote, Rodgers is on a mission. Tampa is not nearly as efficient offensively as perhaps they are perceived to be. I love the Packers.
The Packers.
So
And that's
going
minus
against
3.5?
Marino, and that's -3.5.
I'm
yes.
writing notes on this one.
Yep.
This is the first one I'm going to write down right here.
I'm going to take that one straight to the book.
-3.5. Okay, done.
Tell us a little bit about Peter Jennings for those that are unfamiliar with him.
Okay, so Peter Jennings, I got to know him through basically just social media. He's over with the Action Network.
Yeah.
He and his buddies started off Fantasy Labs, which was then acquired by the Action Network, and I think Mark Cuban eventually bought out Fantasy Labs. It's a big deal. Action Network has taken off. I love their stuff. I'm always looking at what they're putting out there as far as lines, sharp analysis, sorts of things. Darren Ravel, all his absurd tweets, part of the Action Network as well. But Peter Jennings, So he's skiing right now because that's what you do when you're really rich.
You just have all the money.
You ski, and that's what he's doing right now. And I'm still a little bit confused. So I'm going to pull this up.
Okay.
He initially said with an injured Mahomes or maybe a Mahomes that's out, he liked the Bills at +3. A lot of value.
Yeah, so would everybody.
Okay,
I mean, I could do what this guy does.
Right, yeah. Now, with Mahomes, he likes the Chiefs at more like -4, -5, which means if Mahomes is playing, and if you can get the line right now at -3 or better,
He's saying there's some value
he's saying
there.
there's value in the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So with Mahomes, I believe he's all about the Kansas City line right now at -3.
Got it. Yeah. If you guys have any picks in the chat for us, throw them out there. Throw them out there on Twitch. Throw them out there on YouTube. We don't have a limited amount of space for us, so we don't have the Facebook chat up right now, but one of our mods will maybe relay that message to us. So again, send in your picks. Could be a basketball game tonight. It could be a tennis match on Friday. It could be one of the conference championships. It could be one of the UFC fights. We want to hear what you guys have to say. And while we wait on those picks to come in, Brent, what do you say we get to our favorite part of the week, the part we call Lock It Up?
Oh, baby.
Because we are going to deliver some locks. Do you mind if I go first?
Please,
if I start
lead
off,
us off.
if I kind of
Lock
in
it
the
up.
warm-up act here?
Lock it
all
up.
right, lock it up. It's a big card, Brent. We got 8 plays.
All right.
We can show them all right now. my card, the very first card on No Gamble, No Future. And Brent, look at this beauty. So I'm taking LSU plus the 1 against Alabama. LSU plus 1. Why would they only be getting 1 point? They're an unranked team taking on the 16th ranked team in the country. Plus 1, that's weird. If that's weird, I'm clicking on it. Give me LSU.
I love it.
Okay, how about Tennessee versus Florida? Kind of the same thing. Tennessee's a top 10 team in the country, right? Okay. Tennessee is rolling. Florida has been struggling. Florida's just 6-4, but they're only getting 6.5. That looks weird. Give me the Gators. And I've always been a big fan of all of the Gators that I could name right now. And same with LSU.
Not a single player. Player. Yep.
No. More of an NBA guy.
Great pick.
I would say. All right, up next for me, the Pellies. The New Orleans Pelicans getting 6.5 against the Jazz. The Pellies have been super inconsistent, sure, but that leads me to liking them getting a decent amount of points. Pellies plus 6.5. I'm going to enter the UFC world, not yet for this weekend, Brent, but for tomorrow. There is a fight card going on, UFC Fight Night tomorrow in Abu Dhabi, and I'm taking Neil Magny in the main event against Michael Chiesa. Magny coming off of 3 straight wins. I like him at effectively a flip. There's a little bit of value there. On this solo shot, Brent, do I look in that camera? Like right there or this? Oh, maybe it's right there. It just switches.
There.
I think right there. It's so weird. These cameras are so well set up.
I would go there.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Anyways, back to the rest of my card.
Yeah.
Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills, which I know you'll like, which I know we talked about. Give me the Packers minus the 3.5, which I know you like, which I know we've talked about. And then we started to discuss this with Nick. Brent, it's your guy, Dan, the Hangman Hooker, at minus 125.
Oh, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's a guy. It's just his name is Dan Hooker.
Got it.
Yeah, his nickname's the Hangman.
Thank you.
Dan Hooker. Yeah,
thank you.
I got the Hooker. And then a UFC parlay. Give me Amanda Ribas. Give me Dan Hooker. Give me Conor McGregor. That parlay pays at plus 210. And let's go win. And let's go make all of the money.
I mean, that sounds great.
Okay.
That sounds great.
That's probably 8-0, right?
Let me take you through mine. Okay, I love that. You're going to go 8-0.
Yep.
Let me run you through my card, which I got to pull up my notes for right here because, of course, I don't have it.
You're very
in front
detailed
of me.
note.
Very
Sky.
detail-oriented.
Just whenever you're ready.
All right, so let's put this sucker on the screen.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll with it.
Here that one right there.
I got it
there
right
we
here.
go.
No,
Okay,
Jeff,
good. Okay, yeah, cool.
I just have to. My solo.
Get it.
Right here.
Yeah, which one? The middle or the one of the outsides?
Right here. Here we go. First pick.
Yep.
Boiler up. Boiler up. I got Purdue on the road at Ohio State getting 5 points. This is Big Ten rivalry sort of stuff. We're in the big meaty part of the season.
Yeah.
All right. I know Purdue typically sucks on the road. They do. There's no denying it. But right now, all eyes are on the Boilermakers. They are a top 25 caliber team. They are fighting to make sure they guarantee an at-large berth in a very, very difficult Big Ten. I love them getting 5 points on the road at the Buckeyes.
And your wife went to Purdue and your dog is named Boiler.
You had to mention that, didn't you?
Just
My wife did go to Purdue. My entire
facts.
family went to Purdue, and my dog's name is Boiler.
Right.
There you have it. Slightly biased. I still love it. Second pick, Michigan. Wolverines minus 11 at home against Maryland. There are 3 teams that come to mind right away in college basketball that I think are elite. Gonzaga, no-brainer. Baylor, no-brainer. And Michigan. I think Michigan is as good as they get. They are tremendous, and they're even better at home. I love this program. I love the Wolverines. Lock that one up. Number 4, 3, whatever I'm on. I don't know.
3.
Pitt, thank you. I love Pitt at home against a stinky Duke Blue Devils squad. Lock it up with Pitt right now, plus 4. I'll speed this up, Jeff. I'll speed this up. Number 4, NBA. I'm not going to lie. I don't know a ton about the NBA.
You don't know NBA. I know NBA. I don't know college hoops. You know college hoops. It's perfect.
I'm on the opposite side of your game.
Oh, come on.
I like that smooth jazz. I like Utah at home, minus 6.5. You might be able to get it at 6 now. That could be sharp if you can. Lock that in if you can get it at 6. I like Utah 6.5. Moving on over to the NFL, and this is where I shine, and I really do shine here. Buffalo Bills plus 3 against the Chiefs. You're going to get a Patrick Mahomes. I have no doubt about it. He's only going to be like 75% healthy. That's going to be 15% toe. Remember, he's got turf toe. And about 10% of the brain that's still rattled inside the cage. I got the Bills +3. It's going to be a hell of a game. Very excited about this. 4. I'm on the pack train, man.
Yeah.
Mark Gregorich
5.
said it.
Yeah.
My 5th. That's what I said.
Oh.
That's what I said. Green Bay
6.
Packers -3.5. I love this pick. It's a bigly bet for Larry Orpsum out there on Twitter. Shout out the greatest
No shout
mullet
out.
in the game, the greatest mullet in all of poker. Larry Orpsum, that's a bigly bet. Mark Gregorich, bigly bet, and that is one of my locks of the week. Packers -3.5.
Real quick on Larry, just because that tilts me. I'm thinking back to a tweet that he sent where he said he was taking the Mavs plus the 6.5, and you're like, any tweet that you send about the Mavs, you got to include Jeff, which I respect. So thank you for that.
Right.
So he's like, Jeff, we got to take the Mavs. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then the Mavs got blown out of the water. Didn't realize Tim Hardaway Jr. was not playing. So I don't take any personal blame, of course. I mean, I was effectively forced into making that pick. So I blame Larry, and you get a little blame. I get 0 blame. That's how I deal with losses. Go ahead.
Always deflecting. Always deflecting.
No, it wasn't
just
a
take a little
deflect at
personal
all.
responsibility here.
Nope.
All right, just take a little personal
Wasn't
responsibility.
me.
Don't blame the guy with the most delicious mullet in all of poker that
Mullet's
is Larry
quite
Orpsum.
nice.
I have one more pick,
Okay.
and this is the fun one. This is the parlay. All right, I've never lost a parlay since I started doing this show, and here is my
guys get
parlay.
it.
You can lock it in.
Okay.
These are all money line bets. Okay, no more spreads, just money line. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yeah, ready.
Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, Packers, and how about a little Conor McGregor?
Ooh,
a little Conor McGregor.
mixing in a little UFC.
5-team money
Okay.
line parlay. 5 of them.
How many?
5-teamer. 5.
Got it.
And you're going to get plus 685 on your money. Bet 100, you're going to win 685 in return. That's my little parlay, my 5 and a dream.
Ooh,
Lock it up.
Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, Packers, and McGregor. That sounds gorgeous. That sounds good to me. All right, Peter is taking Ohio State minus the 5 tonight, along with Alabama. I see Glenn would like Toronto. Glenn also firing off a hockey parlay. Florida and Colorado, both with the puck lines, both with the minus 1.5. Send in your picks as we want to throw out some crew picks. Producer/director John has the Bills.
Let's go, Buffalo.
He's
Come on,
going to join us. Drew has the Avalanche on the puck line, minus 1.5 at minus 110, taking on the LA Kings. There we go. There's that Bills Mafia. What is that? Playoffs
Are for the Mafia.
Got it.
Playoffs are for the Mafia, yeah.
Playoffs are for the Mafia. That's great. Aiden gave us a tennis futures. Aiden says Novak Djokovic, the Joker, to win the Australian Open. You doing all right over there?
I'm
Did
finding
you break something?
I'm finding something.
Okay. One more pick. Okay, no, go for this. Yeah.
No, I'm just putting it out there while you throw your picks in.
Okay.
This is for all the Bills.
Well,
That's a Jim Kelly signed football from the Hall of Fame, Jeff.
Did
I
Jim
took
Kelly
it right
sign
out of the
that?
case. It's a little smudge.
It's a little
because
smudge.
I like to sleep with it at night, and I get a little sweaty.
Yeah.
And I may have
The value
done
might
that.
not
Well,
really be there
it's
anymore.
priceless. You can't put a price on this.
absolute
'cause
legend. That's
It's
true.
like my pillow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then our guy Tim Duckworth is going to take us to Supercoppa Italiana tomorrow for the Juventus
what?
Napoli match.
What is he betting?
And he wants Napoli at plus 190.
What is that?
I believe it's soccer.
No, we don't do soccer on this show.
No, we do anything. We do
Oh.
anything that'll find us a win.
All right.
Anything that will find us a win. Tim Duckworth is going with Napoli. Take Napoli
So it
on
sounds
the
like a
money
pizza
line.
place.
Well, it might
Sounds
be.
like delicious pizza.
Yeah, it sounds-
Napoli pizza.
Sounds
If
fantastic.
that's not out there, it should be. It sounds a lot better pizza as it does a bet. We're gonna do soccer.
We're going to do soccer. We're going
God
to do
damn it.
everything.
They don't even
then
score in
And then at
soccer.
the end of the show, Brent, we are always going to have a little bit of a segment called Never a Doubt.
Never a Doubt.
Where we're going to go into a couple different things. First, quickly, can you break down Uncle Ron's experience in Vegas?
I will. And this
Okay.
is the Uncle Ron story. Uncle Ron, not my real Uncle Ron, and I do have a real Uncle Ron. This is the Uncle Ron character at Uncle Ron AA. I'm sure you can find him on social media. He came out to Vegas on a mission, a parlay mission, where he and the Wolf Pack back in the great state of Kansas, they parlayed a $100 bet, spun it all the way up. They didn't lose throughout the NFL playoffs, and they reached the $10,000 mark, which means Uncle Ron is coming to Vegas. He's going to put $10,000 down on a game that they all love as the Wolf Pack. Got out
just
here.
keep spinning it up.
Keep spinning it up. They're never going to quit until they just win the whole damn thing. Basically turn $100 into $200,000 and walk away. So, travels to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
In the midst of a pandemic.
Yep.
comes all the way out here. And what do they bet on? They bet on the under in the Packers game. They bet on the under. You cannot travel to Las Vegas right now and bet the under. You're really trying to root against Aaron Rodgers from throwing touchdowns?
You were basically dead right off the bat. And then a little bit of a sweat late in the game as things really slowed down.
I love Uncle Ronnie.
Yeah.
I love the Hinkles. I love everything about this story, this parlay. You don't bet the under. You got to come out and at least pick a side of the game. Pick the over, for crying out loud. I don't care. You want touchdowns. You want excitement. You can't bet the under.
Okay, so your message is just never bet the under.
Just don't bet the under. Not on that. I mean, some games
Yeah.
do the under, but you can't, the whole journey, this story, and you come out and you bet the under? I mean, come on, man.
Final note for the show. If you had Baylor minus the 8.5 last night, sincerest apologies from us. They were up 11 late. They took the shot clock violation with 2 seconds left, with 1.9 seconds left. Again, Baylor is up 11. You have Baylor minus 8.5. Kansas gets the ball at half court. Kansas banks in a long 3 at the buzzer. Baylor does not cover. Baylor only wins by 8.
Dare I say, never a doubt.
If you had Kansas, never a doubt. And that is how we wrap up the premiere of No Gamble, No Future. What do you say we do this again? Does that sound good?
I think we should do this every single Tuesday.
Okay. Same
at
time?
3 o'clock Eastern,
Okay.
12 o'clock Pacific. And next week, we're going to have another big-time guest coming on this show. TBD. Look for announcements on social media. You can follow me at Buffalo Hanks. Follow this guy at Jeff Platt. We will inform you there. And, of course, follow at Poker Go. We will have all of the details. Jeff, I can't wait to do it again.
And, folks, if you liked the show, if you enjoyed what you watched, click the thumbs up button on YouTube,
Please,
right?
Please.
It's pretty simple.
Thumbs up, subscribe to the page right now. Do the same thing over on Facebook. Whatever you got to do on Twitch, just make sure. We need the support. We want to do this every single week for you guys. That's it.
Hallis in the chat asked, do you guys win a lot on sports betting? Oh, we're out of time, Hallis. Unfortunately, we were out
Can't
of
quite answer that.
time. Going to get to that one next week. So thanks to our magnificent crew. He's Brent. I'm Jeff. You've been watching No Gamble, No Future. See you next week.